Take your time, man. We here for you. It's your world. We just live in it.
That's a lie.
Nah, bro, that's facts. Figgity facts. All right, mic check, mic check. 75 Junction, episode 12. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Sherm. These are my co-hosts, Aric and Ant. We are missing Rondo today, or Shiino. I apologize. He has some things he had to attend to, so he won't be present today. So we got a few things we're going to talk about. Some new music came out recently. Future dropped an album. What do y'all think about that? What's y'all's opinions?
3 or 4 is good. 3 or 4 of them are good.
Oh, 3 or 4 of the tracks out of the whole project?
Yep.
So you give it out of a scale of 1 to 10, like what?
Ooh. That's hard. I got to sit on it a little bit more.
For real?
Yeah.
All things considered, I think
it's not a 10, though. I can say that easily.
Oh, no, it's definitely not a 10.
Oh, yeah, it's not a 10.
Definitely not a 10.
I don't even give it a 9.
I don't think Future's ever put anything out that is a 10.
Nah, me either.
The 10 in what, though? Are you comparing a Kendrick album to a Future album?
I'm not comparing.
Because I think DS2 was a 10. As far as...
Really?
Nah.
For his
Dirty
lane.
Sprite 2?
Nah.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, that's just me, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's subjective.
I also think...
What?
I can't decide whether I want to say Beast Mode was a 10 or if I want to say the third one was a 10.
which one?
The one that had March Madness on it.
Oh,
yeah.
And Trap Niggas on it.
nah, I don't know. Just like I said, that's just me. I don't think Future's ever had anything to me.
So at his peak,
that was
he's
a 10
not a
either.
10 is what you're saying.
No,
Nah, I don't think so
Gotcha.
either.
I give him a strong 8.
I mean,
Easily,
and you gotta
easily
keep in
8.
mind what sound it is too. I mean, in regards to like trap music or anything like that.
so who
you
would
know.
be a 10 in the trap music?
In trap?
Ooh, and trap?
Because I think
I don't
Future
consider-
is that upper echelon.
I don't consider anybody in trap a 10 because just based off that type of music, there's no trap music that appeals to me at the whole entire length of the album. That's just me. It's a tough one. You can't really name one. I mean, he named
What
Future.
sound
Not
would you
off the top
call
of my
Travis
head.
Scott's?
Travis Scott? That's definitely not trap. It's more of like an alternative.
Mm.
It's like alternative trap / hip hop because it's not.
Yeah, you
It's
can
not.
call it that.
It's
feel
not
like the
hip hop,
base
but it's
of
not
his-
trap. It's like a mixture,
I feel like the base of the beat is trap. I get what you're saying. He
like
switches
trap
it up.
drums on the beat.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't feel like trap drums makes a
don't make it a
song
trap
a trap
record.
song per se.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because I think if I'm not mistaken, some 808s are under trap drums too.
Excuse me?
I said some 808s are under trap drums too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider it like that's like saying, oh yeah, was some 808s a heartbreaker trap because it has some trap drums in it? Nah,
You would say that had trap drums?
808 and heartbreak? Nah, I'm just saying like some 808s are considered trap drums. You know what I'm saying? If some 808s are trap
I think
drums,
it's more so the bass combined with the repetitive hi-hats combined with the steady clap or snare. And typically the snare or the clap is repetitive as well, where you get that like zing, like effect.
I mean,
So
you
I
could say
think
that
that-
Love Lockdown was a trap bass like type of song because of how deep the bass was and how consistent it was.
But it's lacking, like I said, the repetitive hi-hat and the repetitive
Yeah,
snare or because I get where you're going, that boom, 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 boom.
right.
Now you add some and some to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you got some trap going.
That's gonna be a meme right there. It's like that. Gonna hit you with that Joe Budden treatment. Nah, I'm playing.
do do do. That joint had me weak, cuz.
Hell yeah. Every time I see that Joe had me crying, bro. But yeah. So Future dropped the album. I'm pretty sure y'all
Future.
haven't heard it yet. You on your Soldier Boy shit, huh?
Soulja.
Future?
Soulja.
Nah. I don't think y'all heard it, but XXXTentacion had a project that was released recently.
What?
I think. Yeah, it was. So it's a compilation album or a mixtape, if you will.
You're not talking about Skins, are you?
No,
Oh.
no,
No,
it's
you're not
separate
talking
from
about that.
Skins. This came out like in the past couple of
Yeah,
days.
he said
Oh,
recently.
It was called. It's called. What's good? Members Only Volume 4. So Members Only is
I
a
didn't know anything
mixtape
about
compilation
that.
they had, which is him and a few various other artists. And this is the 4th volume of it. That recently released as well. I haven't got all the way through it though. It's pretty good so far though, from what I've heard. So
Okay.
that's pretty dope. Definitely give that a listen.
I'll take your word for it.
Who else dropped a project, man? Somebody else dropped some stuff.
Dropped a project or song?
Maybe not a project. Maybe I think there were some singles that were released as well.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz, yeah. 2 Chainz dropped 2 singles.
Do you mind if I go back to, because this is kind of getting me.
What?
So no trap music is considered a 10.
For me.
So
I gotta think about
Ham
it.
is not a 10.
Ham?
Kanye, Lex Luger, Jay-Z, Ham.
As a track. I'm talking about as an artist. I don't know any artists that are 10s.
Yeah, I was thinking
as far
more
as
about
trap
the artist.
is concerned. Like a trap artist, I don't consider any of them a 10. Ham, definitely a 10. That joke was crazy.
Okay.
That joke was
I get where
crazy.
you're coming from now. Okay.
But I'm talking about as a whole, as an artist. I don't see any that are like on a scale of 1 to 10 a 10. You know
I wouldn't say
saying?
none
So
of them
Lil
are 10.
Boosie's
but I
not
gotta
a
think
10?
about it.
I wouldn't consider Boosie trap
I wouldn't
though.
consider
What
him
would
a
you
10.
consider him?
But
He's a southern art, like southern rap. Like I don't consider southern rap trap.
Okay. I get that.
So
But
I mean, like
all
30
the southern
South type.
rappers,
You know what I'm saying?
all the southern rappers pre-trap are trap. That was the only lane they really fat in. Like no rapper. I basically, if you was getting Manny Fresh or Webby Beats,
Did you just say fatten? I'm sorry, that really bothered me. I like honed in on that one thing, and everything you said after that was like, like it was like white noise. I'm sorry.
Webby.
Hey, you don't have to have
Manny
attitude, bro.
I ain't got no attitude. If you got beats from them, you transition to like Zaytoven, AR-Ab. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, not AR-Ab. That's the rapper.
You're thinking
A-Rab.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
I think it's just A-Rab.
A-Rab. I think so.
It's
not
not
AR-Ab,
808
though.
Mafia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Southside and
Yeah.
all that. So, I mean, to me, that's the same difference. Because if you listen to Lil Boosie's last couple albums, that's the type of beats he uses.
Yeah, I mean, I think they transitioned to
And
that
Meek
sound.
Mill's never been a 10?
Again, I don't consider Meek trap.
I don't think so either.
I think Meek, that's his best lane.
Trap?
When he
What
get
project
them
did he
hard-
have that was a trap project?
Yeah, name a record.
Dream Chasers 2, Flexin'. First of all, Flexin' was hard.
Flexin' was a single though.
No, it wasn't. It was a mixtape.
He has a song called Flexin'. Is that?
Yeah,
It's a
it was
mixtape
on
called
Dream
Flexin'?
Chasers 2. The
Yeah.
one that went,
I've
that
never heard
one
of
that got like 1 million downloads in like the first hour.
No, I've heard of Dream Chasers. Yeah, I know that Dream Chasers series.
Oh.
I haven't heard of Flexin' as a project. Though.
That was the same one that he had Amen with Drake. And
Nah, Amen was off the album. Yeah,
Amen was first on the
You always look
mixtape,
this
cuz.
up.
we'll look it up after. I heard Amen on the album, so it might have been on
And
the
I'm
mixtape.
thinking,
prior to.
A1 with Kendrick Lamar.
I heard that one. That was fire.
Yeah.
But you
But
consider
I'm
those
saying
trap
the base of
projects though?
that, yeah, I consider that pretty much entire thing right there, trap. Yeah, that whole thing was nothing but snares and, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean-
what?
I guess we have to come to the agreement of what a trap composed album or track is like. I mean, I know you
Yeah.
said the bass and then the hi-hats and then the claps and shit, but what is the literal definition of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I'm not saying your interpretation of it is not what it truly is, but
That
I
what
don't-
you're saying?
is it?
The way I'm explaining it is subjective.
I
So
mean,
it's like you could
kind of, yeah.
Is up for interpretation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I feel like, then that comes with like the ear for stuff. And that's the
Mhm.
way I look at it. Like, people look like, I was kind of surprised at what you said with Travis Scott.
I don't consider him trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't because
I don't either.
because he's like a rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like he's nowhere near anything like trap. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like up on stage, wild, flinging around, crowd surfing. You know what I'm
talking
saying?
about his music.
His
Even his
music is
music.
an entertainment. Like white people rock with Travis Scott. I would say white people more so than black people rock with Travis Scott. Like his music is
I can
almost
see that.
tailored
I
towards
wasn't
white
basing
people.
it off of that.
I can see that.
but-
Cause like they be turning up to that stuff. Sicko Mode, that was a blessing for white people. They were like, I love this.
I think everybody
yeah.
like
Sicko
that.
Mode and Mo Bamba, that's their favorite.
I think everybody loved it.
Like
the
their
only
favorite.
reason
It
people
is.
down Sicko Mode was because we was really ready for that first song. You
I-
feel me?
I
That's
don't
the
doubt Sicko
only
Mode.
reason.
I love Sicko Mode.
If he had just played the song straight from not that part, that first part with Drake, everybody would have been satisfied. But when he did that, he made me mad. I was like, dang.
You didn't like the beat changes?
I liked the song, but nothing, in my opinion, topped what I felt like was coming at that point.
Oh, when it
Drake
was like
came on
opening,
that
it was
beat.
like the
Yeah, when Drake came
that joint
on
was
that,
crazy.
I was like, "This is about to be nuts." And then
you start
he just
crying?
switched it all up. Nah,
Oh, okay.
Astro Thunder is the one.
That's the one. That's it, Chief.
That's my favorite Travis Scott song.
Okay, word.
But anyway,
Well, so yeah, moving on. J. Cole dropped a single, Middle Child. I like the track. And like the track, Eric wasn't
very respectable track.
wasn't really feeling it, but
respectable track.
Very respectable.
I don't know, man. I
Who says
just
Take
about
my
a track?
words. Very respectable track.
I personally rock with
Who
J.
says
Cole a lot,
about a
man.
J.
You know what I'm
Cole
saying? I
track?
mean, he's lyrical.
Respectable.
He's got a good beat selection. To me, he's the full package in the sense as far as like what you look for in a rap artist or a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
For
I
me,
have a lot of respect for J. Cole.
but do you feel like he fits the mold of like the package rapper,
Oh,
like
yeah.
complete package,
I mean,
presentation,
what?
A+ on your paper type rapper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
But
don't,
he's just not
where
for
we
you
disagree. Yeah, that what it is it's just not the particular sound I think I'd be looking for.
I mean, I feel you because there's some projects from J. Cole that have no replayability in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I listen to it one time, I hear the messages he has to give,
Some of
and then
his
I'm
older joints.
right, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's what's up, and I'll never revisit the project.
And because he always makes his own beats and he doesn't have a lot of features, it's hard to kind of get out of that turn. Like, people will have songs where I'll be like, dang, I would have never even listened to him if I hadn't heard that. But with J. Cole, it's like, if you don't like it, then you're just going to get a whole bunch more of it. So, not
So you
saying
feel like
it's-
there's like no diversity, basically.
yeah, like,
He's never.
I like
been-
that
he's
he
never
can
did
do all that
though.
stuff on his own, but like Kanye was able to do the same thing. But what you notice is Kanye would take his talent and production and mix it with somebody else's sound and then give you a feature on top of that.
That's one thing I loved about
You get what I'm
Kanye,
saying?
man. Like his music, like whenever he pairs up with somebody, he brings out the best sound, like production wise, for that person. And
it's
he's
a-
like, yo, I got this track. It would be perfect for you. I need you to hop on it for a feature. And then it's always magic.
and the features are so diverse.
Yeah.
Young Jeezy just came and did the ad libs once. Just came and did the ad libs. You know what I'm saying? That was just. I like to see people mix it up. I think hip hop in some ways is kind of self destructive because of everybody wanting to do everything on their own. Don't get me wrong. Show your talent. You know, maybe his first two albums he could have made on his own. But at some point, I do like to see people mix it up. Even the greats mix it up. You know what I'm saying? So, Pac had a lot of features. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even Biggie, not so much. He had
still,
enough.
He still has plenty of time to do that though.
Yeah, he does.
some point.
Who, Cole?
I just wanted to
Yeah.
point out the fact that I just think when it comes to like I write my own songs, but if I was in a position where somebody wrote a song and I was like, oh my goodness, like I could kill this, you know what I'm saying? I might do it.
Yo, let me hear one of them songs.
I know I
yo.
can write songs. You know what I'm
Let
saying?
me hear one of them.
Shut up.
Yeah, can you freestyle for us right quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah.
For real?
That's a bar?
Nah.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not that kind of podcast tonight.
Ooh.
It's not that kind of podcast. You on your super hot fire
Don't
stuff
be
right
giving
now.
them that. Don't give them
The
that.
point that I'm making
stuff right
is,
there.
although I'm confident in my own ability, I don't doubt that me combining with someone else could work, whether it be songwriting, production.
Right.
So I'm open to that. I don't mind that because you know what I'm saying? I just feel like if the average fan sees one song that I have written by somebody else and doesn't see my entire discography, well, that's them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, nah.
I feel that.
That's what you're saying.
Do you call it discography anymore? Because
That's what I call it.
some of these rappers.
Talking about their whole.
Well, I'm
like,
saying.
compilation.
I
Like,
heard Joe Budden
projects.
using it. on
yeah,
his
but I'm
podcast.
saying like.
But Joe Budden's still old school, so.
But
I mean,
isn't
Yeah,
it based
facts.
off like discography? So it's like some of these rappers came out and they have never put out a physical copy of anything. So what kind of
so if there's no physical copy of it, it's not a actual full length project album. Like if there's just mixtapes, that doesn't really count as a discography. That's more because there's no revenue coming in from that aside from touring and stuff like that.
But what if you drop an album on Apple Music? There's never a physical CD. It's just streams.
I don't know anybody that has released an album on Apple Music or streaming platforms, period, and not had a solid, some type of solid copy, whether that be a CD or a vinyl.
I've seen.
I don't.
Who?
Well, I'm talking about smaller artists.
Well, that's why they don't have a large label. They don't have
think there's
anybody
any
pushing
SoundCloud
them.
rappers that don't have that drop music and didn't have?
I mean, X is a perfect example, but when he actually got signed to a label and actually made a full length project to actually sell and distribute, you know what I'm saying? Like he could buy like, you know, stuff from artists that are smaller, but I mean, they're not really big enough to call it a discography per se. I mean, discography, I'm not saying that's mutually exclusive to larger artists, but you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, what you think, Ant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see you over there falling asleep, so I had to get on you real quick.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know you're tired. It's all good, man. It ain't gonna be too long, so don't worry about it. What y'all feel about the Chris Brown situation, man? So Chris Brown got detained over in Paris or France? Somewhere in Europe.
It's Paris.
Paris. He got detained in Paris
to get attacked at the Walmart, don't you?
For
Chris Brown and sexual assault. That's two of the most controversial but just trending topics on right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
You mix R. Kelly with Chris Brown.
Yeah, I mean I don't know all the details of the case or the allegations or what was said or what was done. I have seen a lot of people with varying opinions. You know, obviously you got your people that live, breathe, and die Chris Brown. So they're like, nah, he didn't do it. Chris Brown will never do it. Any girl in the world would throw their pussy at him. Why would he need to do that? And then there's the people that are like, well, when it comes to rape, it's more so about the power aspect or getting something that you can't have, because not everybody wants to be with Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's females out there, very small group, but I'm sure there's females out there that are like, I ain't really worried about him. You know what I'm saying? So those could be tantalizing to him in a sense where it's like, okay, well, since I can't have you, I'm going to take you. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but this is just from things that I've seen online on social media, different people's perspectives and things like that. So what are some things that y'all think about that?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I wasn't going to say that I saw it on the media. I just think it can go one of two ways.
Yeah. I mean, he was released. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I mean, he was released, so, but that could be because of a lack of evidence. You know what I'm saying? All the facts are not on the table yet, I believe.
Well,
so it's
not
still
guilty until proven guilty.
Yeah,
right.
Honestly,
and I'm a firm believer in that too.
Yeah, me too.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Unless there's a situation like the R. Kelly tape where something obviously wrong happened in that trial, I gotta just leave it up to the law, because there's so many different possibilities. Like, yeah, they might not have evidence, but then he's got enough money and influence and people to help cover it up.
Yeah.
But again, there is the strong thing of there's a lot of people out here trying to get money from Chris Brown, and Chris Brown doesn't really need to go begging. You know what I'm saying? So, but it could also be the situation of wanting power, and maybe somebody told him no for once. But
yeah,
my personal opinion, I kind of don't think he did it.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate right here.
Just had to throw that out there, right?
No, but he kind of did have some type of controlling type of aspects with him and Carucci.
Right.
And him, you know, wanting, basically from far as I know from the story, he wanted to fight young Draco, young Soldier Boy.
Young Soldier.
Over him liking Carucci's picture.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I'm like, bro, like over a like?
That's what
on
it seems
picture?
like it was about.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, y'all don't really know.
It seems kind of controlling, but that's all we know as far as that situation. I don't know if there's more to it.
But it's a simple fact that it's a like on a picture. Now, it depends on the picture, of course. You know what I'm saying? If it's a picture of her like in a thong, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, I could see where you be like, yo, you supposed to be my boy. Why you liking that kind of picture? But then you gotta ask, okay, why is your girl posting that kind of picture? But then you have to look at the fact that she's famous. She's got an image to uphold. So
Everybody
gonna
be
like
liking her picture.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So out of all the people that like the picture, you gonna hone in on him?
Well, here's my thing, and this is why I can't call it.
What?
They're both in the industry, so it could have been a situation where it's like Chris Brown and him could have been in the studio together, chopped it up. They're not necessarily best friends, but it's a certain respect there. So if he going through something, who's to say that Soulja Boy might not have caught wind? Soulja Boy know a lot of stuff about the industry, and again, it's not as big as from what they are saying, not from my personal experience, but it's not as big as you would think it is. So it's like, if he going through something with her and you liking her picture, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of disrespectful. Like, would I publicly go out and get all mad about it? No. But I would carry things differently with that gentleman because it's like, you know exactly what's going on. And I'm not saying they're best friends. I'm just saying I don't know their relationship. So it's like, you know, if I made a popping record tomorrow and I like Karuchi's picture, I doubt Chris Brown will care because he doesn't know me from Toucan Sam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why would he get mad that this particular other famous person likes her? You know what I'm saying? Two artists that you know have done work or been around almost every artist. Everybody seems to have, for some reason, been around Soulja Boy. Even Drake. You know what I'm saying? Everybody seems to be around Chris Brown. Everybody's done a record with him. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect to be smoking with Fab, and then the next day he liked my chick or my ex-chick picture that I'm going through it with. Like, Chris Brown just be losing the race when he be not being cool about, like, stuff. Like, handle it in the cut. You feel me? Yeah. You don't have to handle everything on, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
He does let his emotions get the best
He
of
did
him.
come up in the industry, what, at 16?
Yeah,
I mean,
16.
He was super young.
15, 16.
So at what
like
point, like, that's always the excuse, but it's like,
It's kind of not.
It's kind of not an excuse because it's like, you know how it run. Like, you know how this goes. Like, if I do that the first year I sell 1 million records, it makes more sense. Like, the way they were saying about Cardi B, it's like, they want Cardi B to be like Beyonce now, and it's like, Cardi B 2 years ago was on a whole nother wave. You feel me? Like not as far as like her style. She has the same style, but she wasn't who she was. You feel me? So it's like, how you expect somebody to just turn into that as opposed to Beyonce also was in the industry at a pretty young age. I wouldn't say at like 15 or something, but she was still young. She came young, out nice. I mean, her dad was managing her. She wasn't that old.
Dad may play a part in it. You know, helping her grow and making sure she made the right moves and stuff like that. Everybody kind of functions differently. So Chris Brown may have not had that leadership or just didn't mature quick enough yet or whatever. And the industry kind of shaped him when he got into the industry early. You never know. Like it's hard to speak. A lot of people. You said what?
I think the industry shapes a lot of people because you get to be whoever you want to be.
Like Justin Bieber.
For the better or for the worse.
They were talking about Justin Bieber, too, because he came in there early and then how he's kind of wild. He's calmed down now as far as I see.
I feel like he's just kind of taking a back seat to everything. What's up?
He growing up.
Yeah.
I think so. He's definitely learned how to. I think he probably had a lot of good advice and started to take it. Started to take that advice because he's definitely shaping out.
Look at Drake's transition from trying to be proud of his past because he knew people were gonna go at him for it, and then now him having kind of like a mob type of appearance. Like, so Drake was at first like, yeah, I'm cool with being on Degrassi, and I'm not knocking that. And I know some guys, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not like that. So now it's kind of like Don Corleone, bring the clip back empty. You ask to see the boss, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's like. It's not like Drake is necessarily, well, his stature now would make you think he'll beat you up, but then it seemed like he one of them people that'll send somebody to get you. You feel me?
Yeah.
People transition.
I could definitely see that, but back to the Chris Brown thing. Like I said, I think he was released due to a lack of evidence. There's more to come. And I also wanted to double back on the thing that I said where people are innocent until proven guilty. because I know there's going to be somebody out there that feels some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that rape is excused, like I'm saying I believe the person that's telling me that they were raped, but I'm also not incriminating the person that did the rape because they're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. You know what I'm saying?
You're not disrespecting rape. You're saying you don't know if it occurred. There's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
And at the end of the day, men lie, women lie, but facts don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because people that accuse people of rape lie, and people that perform the rape lie about the rape. You know what I'm saying? But when you go in front of a court of law, when the actual rape kit, for the woman, if she was raped and she goes and gets
if she actually did that,
right? She got the medical procedures done and got the DNA and stuff like that. That's cut and dry. You did it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. Yeah. And you should pay for that.
That's not true, because then it's the circumstances. Because
you're talking about like
had consensual sex and then say you got raped.
I mean, yeah,
it's very complicated. It's not something.
There's that too. Yeah.
I put it like this. I'm a person that might generalize a lot sometimes. When it comes to that, I just completely hear for the case by case base, because it's just so specific.
Yeah.
So many
every case
factors.
is different.
Yeah, that
you
situation
even hear about
is
married
so touchy.
people. Y'all ever see that movie about the woman who, so like she liked doing weird stuff with her husband, but he did something one day and she basically took him to trial for rape. Like he broke in the house and like a robber, and had sex with her, and she didn't really know that. I don't think so. She was like,
and it was her fantasy.
It just it traumatized her, because I don't think she knew it was him at first.
Oh, okay.
And so
I ain't hear about that.
He wild.
So it was a movie. I gotta look it up. And like she really like took him. Like she called the police. Like
that's crazy.
After she realized it was him.
Oh damn! Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not funny, but it's crazy that was a movie. I can't remember it.
Oh, it was an actual movie?
Yeah, it was a movie. I can't remember.
Oh, based like off a true story?
That I don't remember. This was a while ago.
Oh,
okay. I mean, I'm sure something like that has happened though. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I've seen something before. There was like, if you're married and your wife denies you sex and you take it still, is that considered rape? And yes, it is.
Some places
just because you're married doesn't mean. No, I understand that. But as far as like decent human beings are concerned, you know what I'm saying? That's not.
I think it is, of course.
And that's not to say that people that like. All right, let me put it this way.
What?
I hate having to be politically correct with everything, but a lot of Middle Eastern cultures, they, the man is always the dominant one over the woman. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much, they can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? The woman is basically like, I don't want to say a house slave, but they don't have very many things that they can do. You know what I'm saying? So men get away with a lot of things in that culture, and it's a cultural thing. However, general decency dictates like, nah, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? But that's not our call to make, because that's their culture. That's how they live. That's what they abide by.
What I would ask in that situation, and I don't think it's right, but I would like to ask, what is the other side of that? So, for instance, we hear about some of this stuff men do in those other countries, like have multiple wives and all this. But then what is the responsibility that person may be given that might be unfair to them, as opposed to what the woman has to deal with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can have 4 wives, but I don't know, if you break the law, you get 10 times more time than a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I'm just making up a scenario. I would beg to think that if we live in a society where it's kind of balanced like that, there might be more to the story. And again, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right if women accept that an unfair trade-off. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I would like to know more about.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's definitely something to look into.
Well, the whole thing with rape, sexual assault, all that, I think has become such a big phenomenon in society now, and a big media outlet, because there's a lot to learn from those situations, because a lot of those are case by case situations, and they're all very touchy.
Yeah.
And they're not cut and dry. There's so much nuance to all of that, and what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what women should do, what men should be doing, right? And there's so much about that. And surprisingly, I think what a lot of people are realizing is the stuff they felt like was okay, they're starting to realize, you know, the victim side of that thing, or what kind of effects some of that stuff kind of has on people, guy and girl.
I just hope people remain balanced in the situation. And I don't say that to condone any type of sexual assault. I just want to make sure that it doesn't get extreme to the point where you go to a party and you don't even want to look over at a woman because you don't want her to feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's been happening lately, where it's becoming an extreme where, and not too extreme, it's just some situations have become extreme where it's so touchy now and it gets you in so much trouble that a lot of guys, definitely guys that are celebrities or in the, you know, public, you know, spotlight, having to be so careful with that because it could ruin your career. Even just getting accused of something and it not going to court or nothing happened, just the accusation alone holds so much weight into ruining somebody's career, their image, or whatever they got going on. A music deal, sponsorship, whatever they got going on could ruin it like that.
Definitely. It's like the equivalent almost of like, oh, you're just saying that because I'm black, or you're doing this because I'm black. It's like falling back on something that actually happens, but you're perpetrating it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to gain something from it. You're trying to get out of something when you just actually fucked up. You actually, you know, and not in the sense like people that, you know, say that fucked up, but in the sense that, you know, they're like, oh, I can get some bread out of this, or I could get some type of gain from this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, use it as leverage.
Right, some type of leverage.
Upper my career or whatever.
No, I'm saying not that they messed up. So like if I get pulled over by a cop, I say you pulled me over because I'm black, when actually I was doing 65 and a 45. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, because that's when you're using it to get out something you did wrong, opposed to somebody that says sexual harassment. They're probably not doing anything wrong per se. It's just something that, you know, a guy came up and.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah. No, that's what I was trying to say, because they're similar analogies, but they're different in certain aspects of it.
I think this, and I think other things like these predators, that's a problem within itself. I think we all agree how we feel about that.
Right. But there's no tolerance on that. That's definitely, there's no discussion for that.
But I feel like the black man and the black woman are so like divisive right now as far as the arguments about other things, like just about finances, about sexuality outside of that type of sense. And I think we both got to take responsibility. Like, for instance, now it's like girls act like dudes because the way we act. I take responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? Or as men, like we typically play games more than women do. So now they done caught hip to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really you can't blame one side or the other. But I think when we start taking responsibility for the stuff we know we do, you know what I'm saying? Then it'll get easier because everybody's blaming each other and we're both kind of faking. It's like man code and then it's woman code. So it's like you did this and they like, nah, only we know that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not helping build because everybody lying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I think people need to just start accepting people for who they are.
That's one of the things that I do like about all of this. I mean, it sounds kind of bad, but out of all these sex assault allegations and rape allegations, is that it's stirring up a lot of conversations to like reevaluate our society and like what we do and what's the norm, you know, like is that okay, and what type, like some of that stuff that we think is okay, what type of effects does it have on some of these people that are considered victims or see themselves victims?
I feel like in 30-30 people are just gonna stop having sex.
You said 30-30.
Yeah, they just gonna transfer your sperm over digitally.
You want a kid?
No, wirelessly.
Wireless sperm.
Wirelessly pregnant.
You can just airdrop your sperm.
Airdrop it.
Oh, you on some shit now?
I'm telling you.
You might be on something though.
We'll never know, but
you might be onto something, man.
I don't know. It might just all be robots at the end of it.
Man, your kid might have some deformities being digitally and wirelessly created.
My baby downloaded for like 5 hours. Man.
Missing a few bits out of the baby.
Oh no, corrupt file. Oh shit, that's bad, yo. That's bad.
What if your baby was some malware? They'd be like, yo, what does that mean? Like, is it a bad person? Is it the dad's fault? Like, whose fault is that?
Got Trojan horse babies.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
Oh my goodness. Hey man, y'all rock with owls?
So
Really doing it?
Yeah, man. I told you I had to put it in the podcast, man. We was talking earlier about owls. And I was talking about, yeah, man, you know owls, hooty woo. And then they was like, did you just say sue woo? I was like, y'all think there's gang banging owls out here? Like you go outside and just like, sue woo, what set you with? Just go outside and just jump your ass. Like
I can see that as a Boondocks episode. Like
I could definitely see that.
A crip like on the block pulling up in a owl being like, sue woo. Just drive by all over.
I could see that.
Hit it with the soldiers.
Oh, I wanted to talk about the trip to Baltimore too that me and Shiino took, man.
Oh, yeah.
That joint was dope. Yeah, man, we went out to Baltimore, Maryland. We got to link up with DJ Nick. Did an interview with him. The interview went great. It was dope. Baltimore showed mad love, man. So shout out to Baltimore, definitely. We definitely gonna be working more with him later. With some other things too. He wanted to do a little podcast joint. So we gonna set something up. It's gonna be pretty dope, man.
Okay.
And I got my first interview flying in this weekend from North Carolina. Well, he's actually not flying in. He was going to fly in, but he ended up driving. His name is Dylan 3X.
Oh, I like the name.
Okay.
Yeah, Dylan 3X. He and his stuff is dope from what I heard so far. So I'm excited to do the interview. And the fact that he's even coming from North Carolina is dope. Definitely. I think there was some dudes from Canada that's about to come down too.
From Canada?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. These interviews it's on a whole nother level now, man. Like it's definitely taking off. So I'm happy with the direction it's going. And it's just gonna help the podcast elevate from that point forward. So
it's good.
Yeah, we
definitely a good platform.
Yeah,
and that's building along the way.
Absolutely.
Very motivational.
Yeah, and I definitely gotta announce the winner for these for this Amazon Echo Dot. I'm gonna do it after the podcast though on Friday. Well, it is Friday now, but I'm gonna announce the winner later today. Because I've been dragging my feet on that. I definitely need to do that. But, yeah.
Oh, my God. How could we forget?
What?
The games last week.
Oh, the football games?
Yes.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy,
Yo,
bro.
Bad calls
I haven't been keeping up with that.
Both games.
Bro.
Both games.
What's your opinion on the overtime rule where it's the first person to score is the first winner?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think it should be like the NBA where you have a set amount of time and then whatever the final score is after that time is out is the winner, or you're going to double overtime.
So basically just one extra quarter.
Right, basically. Well, because the overtime is 5 minutes.
Well, I mean,
it's half a quarter.
Yeah,
or 6
I know
minutes
what you
or something
mean,
like that.
but it's not based on who scores first. It's just based on the score at the end.
6. Okay, so it's half a quarter. Yeah. So I think it should be similar in the sense where you give both teams a chance. Because if this is the first team to score and the first team that gets the ball back, you know what I'm saying, whoever that's supposed to be, they have a better offense than the other team's defense, that's a wrap.
Basically,
even if it's a field goal.
Basically, what you're saying is when Tom Brady got the coin toss, we all knew it was over.
Right, pretty much.
Like,
I was like, oh, I know how it's going to go.
You gave the greatest quarterback of all time the coin toss. It's like, oh, yeah. Oh, there's hope.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
It could have been the Ravens defense with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis when he was murdering niggas, and Terrell Suggs, and he probably still would have scored.
Yeah, and it's crazy that both games went in overtime. I was like, that's crazy. Both games went in overtime.
That was some good football. It really was.
Basketball's really good.
I wanted to see so bad though the Chiefs and the Rams in the Super Bowl. Two teams we never see in the Super Bowl, and they had arguably the greatest football game this season that we have ever seen in our lives.
Absolutely, that game was crazy.
53 to
like 48 or 49.
Yo, it was 103 points scored in that game, bro.
Insane.
And the crazy thing was, of course, for 50 plus points to be scored on each side, yes, there has to be bad defense. But it wasn't terrible defense. Like, the defense even scored. You feel me? So it was exciting on both sides of the ball. Like,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely dope, man. So
But the stupid Patriots. You know what? If he wins, good for him. He needs to retire right there. Just like Peyton Manning did it. Go out in the sunset.
retire on a good note.
Go out in the sunset.
What you think, Ant?
You can't. You can't ask for more. Your 6th Super Bowl ring. You're 41. You played 18 seasons. You literally played somebody last week who watched you, grew up watching you play. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
ask
over.
for more.
I think the only reason LeBron gonna stay, I think LeBron gonna stay until his son get in the league.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
what I've
be dope.
heard
If they
that.
got to play together, that'd be
Yeah,
super
I
dope.
think when he
I've
does
heard
that, it's over.
I've heard a rumor before that's what he was doing and waiting to pull his son
Because his
onto the
4th
Lakers
year, I
with
think.
him.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy.
Nah, because
that would
I'm-
set a new precedent
I
right
don't know.
there.
'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure LeBron gonna make his son finish school.
Possibly.
I think it's almost a
Possibly.
guarantee.
He doesn't really
I don't
need
know.
to.
I don't think so. Honestly,
He kind of in his situation. He
I
doesn't
don't think he
need to.
would.
He doesn't need to, but I think that's more so why the principle's going to be set. Because think about that. His kid probably knew by age 6 he didn't have to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe.
at the worst, I'm going to be rich.
At the worst.
all he had to do was not get addicted to drugs. That's all he had to do.
Right.
That ain't gonna happen. I don't think he would let that.
I'm just saying, like, he probably sets high standards for him because he knows that his son is gonna. As a kid, naturally, you're gonna take the easy way out. So it's like, Dad, I'm sure he says a kid innocently sometimes, like, Dad, why do I have to do this? Like, you know that I'm not gonna need it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he had to teach him, like, no, that's not how you gonna live your life, though. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And he might look up to LeBron.
his son?
No, his son look up to him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like he might just want to follow in his footsteps regardless.
I don't know. I don't see that.
You don't
Time
see
will
that?
The man built the school and he ain't gonna have his son finish school. I don't see it.
When you're saying school, you're talking about college, or you're talking about high school?
College.
Like all 4 years?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, I think so.
because that's only holding him back.
No, it's not.
As far as monetarily and stuff like that, because I understand like you got a family and stuff like that, you gonna provide for your family. LeBron's got a lifetime deal that will set his family straight for the next 3 or 4 generations.
Easy.
But you also don't want to limit your child into decisions that they can or cannot make. And plus, his son's gonna be a grown man.
You're right. He can't make his own decision.
Exactly.
I just think that ultimately, when he goes to his father and asks his opinion will be, I think you should finish school.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and I would say there's nothing stopping them from finishing school while playing in the NBA, but the NBA kind of becomes your life.
I was
so
gonna say
that,
his situation's so unique.
And you know what's so crazy?
on a
LeBron is
sense-
only. I'm sorry, my bad.
You're good on the sense that the fact that he's so set in the way you were talking about, he could go back to college whenever he wanted to.
right.
It's not a situation where it was like I think J. Cole was in that situation where he decided to finish school and then continue to do rap on the side to make money. But he made sure he finished school just in case the rap thing didn't work out. He still had something set up.
Right.
Brian, he don't have that
You
situation.
don't gotta worry about that. He's already got the athletic.
He's
got the athleticism.
whatever he wanted
you know
to
what I'm
do.
saying? He's got all
If
that.
basketball for some reason didn't work out, he had an injury where he couldn't do anymore. He could easily go back to school
But
and just do what he had to
think their
do.
way of thinking is different because that's so obvious. So I think
Maybe
what LeBron is trying to say is, and what he said his whole career kind of is, number one, he said he wished he had went to college. Number two, he's grown so much as a person now that I feel like it's not about it being a backup plan. It's about being an educated black man. Why? Because I didn't finish. I went straight from high school. You know what I'm saying? And then you had that lady who said, just shut up and dribble. So for his son to finish school and then become in the NBA, it's like you couldn't even try that. Like the way they did with people thought what's your boy name? Ain't his name Sherman? Man, I'm trying to switch to football. On the Seahawks.
Oh, Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman. People thought he was ignorant because of the way he acted on the field. But then that man has got a degree and some more stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger point to LeBron because everybody thinks, oh, he don't gotta go to school. Why would he do it? It's a backup plan. We look at that as a backup plan. Other people look at it as like you're going to be an educated black person. Like, and I hear a lot of older people say that. They'll be like, because if you don't have a technical degree, they'll be like, you're not educated.
I don't know. That's my problem with society, though.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I was going on
have a
that too.
degree to be educated.
Right. I know.
Literally everything that you learn in college is something you can Google and find out. Knowledge is not confided to that piece of paper. Knowledge is based off of desire and hunger for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think you could be very educated without having a college degree. Yeah. But we already know my stance on that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way.
I see what you're saying as well.
No, I don't agree with them. I'm just telling them.
No, I see what you're saying.
I also believe that it's nothing wrong with being good at only a few things. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, the best at politics, and know economics. Yeah. If you know how to do 2 or 3 things very, very well, and you can be a master at those things, do that. I don't think everybody's meant to be everything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like at least that's what I do for myself. Anything that I'm passionate about and I really care about learning, I just learn.
Yeah.
And it's not an effort. It's never an effort when I'm really passionate about something. It's just I want to know this. So the information is out there.
Like, bro,
our age is great, man.
If you knew how much random stuff I think of at work that I Google.
Me too, yeah.
I just at work in my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Because like if I think of something and I'm like, I really don't know how that works, I'll figure out how it works. I'll Google it and learn how it works based off of obviously credible sources and sites. But you know what I'm saying?
Your DIY stuff.
I just Google dumb stuff.
You want to know how to
do it. I Google dumb stuff too. But
you wanted to make that patio, you made it. A lot of times
I Google history and
you find out how to do it. That was it.
I do look up a lot of history too, just to fact check myself because I don't want to put any misinformation out.
Oh, for fact checking. Yeah,
because with history, history repeats itself, and if you don't do your research, then you're doomed to repeat it. But
I feel like I
only come across history like when that situation pops up.
I feel like the world just keeps doing the same cycle, and we just don't notice it because everybody's telling the same story.
Maybe we're stuck in a program.
Worlds. I mean, in different times. Like, so in 40 years, we're going to be like, this ain't music. You know what I'm saying? This is the real music that we listen to. And then our parents feel like that was real music, and their parents feel like they have real music. So it's just like, and then there's only 88 keys on the keyboard, so it's like there's only a certain amount of different combinations that can be played.
Bro, so I was always wondering like how long it's gonna take till we run out of music.
I think about
as far as like musical combinations to use.
There's a thing in rock where they use, I think is it like 4 chords or something, and like a ton of rock songs. Like you literally can use.
Oh, like there's a trend. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's literally like 4 chords you can play a ton of rock songs.
And they were saying,
are popular and famous.
They're saying there's this cadence or this specific beat that every single major song that's ever come out has
that too.
In it. I don't remember.
It's like a formula. It's kind of like a formula for success. I was told
it's like going off of frequencies.
It might be frequencies.
So certain frequencies like make the brain react in a certain way, and then at a certain tempo it does it too.
There's definitely that too.
But I purposefully stay ignorant of that because I don't want to ever make music with that mindset.
You feel like it's a cop out kind of?
Well, I feel like you just killed the entire process.
If you choose to do that. But if you have in your mind, oh yeah, I know what that is, you can discern, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, they use this, or because I mean, you're not like doomed to stick to that if you find out.
I feel like you are in the sense of once you realize it keeps working, you will, because then the bar is gonna be set so high. Like every rapper's like biggest thing is to make the next hit bigger than the last hit, and that's the whole secret sauce of it. Is trying to figure that out. So it's like, cause first you're trying to make the hot song to get you out the hood. Then when you get out the hood, you trying to make the song that, you know, keeps you out the hood. Then when you keeping out the hood, now you got to remember that you still was from the hood, and you got to keep it real with them, but they want you to evolve, but not too. So the whole portion of that is the beauty of it, and you figuring it out. Like if you use that joint and you get a hit, you're going to be like, man, I can't go back to doing that old whoop-de-woo. I gotta do this with something else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you ain't doing nothing on the track. Somebody else singing it, writing it, and somebody else. You just over here putting a little frequency thing on it. Like,
yeah, true.
I think nowadays too is that you don't really have to definitely as like a rapper, you don't have to appeal to everybody or trying to get all hip hop fans to be interested in you. Nowadays it's more of fan base. Like this is my core fan base and I appeal to them. Like a J. Cole fan base or Young Thug fan base or Lil Uzi. Like there's a lot of different like categories in hip hop now, styles, and like this is all different types of ways to do hip hop now.
I equally love and hate that so much. Cause like I was telling you before, I can rate Future a 10 in his lane. You feel me? But I hate that in the sense that you can't compete. So like the whole Drake versus Kendrick thing, it's like you can't really go there because it's like it's apples and oranges. But back in the day, it almost seemed like everybody was trying to like top the best same style. Like everybody had different styles, but they were all trying to get to this one god style. You feel me? Like
it's
not
as style competitive anymore. It's a lot of collaborative stuff happening, and it's not really competing.
That's because
on
the world is pussy now, and everybody's like, I'm different. I'm not. My music doesn't suck. It's different, and because you put to the world where there's 10 billion people on it and 100,000 people like it, that actually is not good numbers when you look at percentages, but when it comes to feeding your family, it is. So it's like because one of the worst things to do in business is to base your business model off of trying to get a fraction of what you think the overall market is. You should never be like, if we get 1% of the market, we'll get $10 billion. It's like, but that doesn't mean you have an effective way to get there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's like artists signing with labels. Because they get screwed out of probably like 80% of all the proceeds.
Well, here's the difference. So me, if I was to get offered a deal right now, I would take it. Because either way, it's going to change my life. That's something that you can't put a price on. Now, once I have the ability, so let's say I did 2 albums for that label. Now I have the ability and I can spread out from there. You feel me? And then another thing,
based off of what your contract is,
and you have a name now too, so you can use your name to make other products and get in different things.
Your brand up.
But their brand is more instantaneous because they have certain connections. Like, in my opinion, I feel like you can't just get on the Jimmy Kimmel show or whatever, the late night show or whatever. You can't just get up there. Like, I feel like they're booked up the whole year and they work with X amount of groups. And that's the only way you're getting to them. You're not just going up there with your like, I never seen Tech 9 on the late night show. You feel me? No matter how many things he's done, it's just like he's not in that type of. And now if he was doing a movie, he might end up there. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not in that within that little group, you're not getting on a show like that.
I think a lot of that has to do with choice too. My bad.
Yeah.
Because if I choose not to go up there, and I mean,
but you
can invite me all day, but I'm like, nah, bro.
It's not because I feel like they're trying to keep people out. It's just such a big show. Like, it's literally a show anybody over the age of 9 might know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them shows. It's like you might fall asleep to it. You know what I'm saying? It just happened to be on. So it's like it's so big that they only go through certain huge companies like record labels to even get the talent. You know what I'm saying?
It's been fun.
And that's where I say only that's where I feel like, labels do have certain benefits. You know what I'm saying? They do have benefits. If you could get a 2-album deal, it might work out for you. Now, if you get a 7-album deal, you know what I'm saying?
You're fucked.
But if, let's say they make
independent deals though,
those usually make less money, because my next point was going to be, if you get a 360, right? But let's say you get $1 million out of it and they make $20 million. Okay, but what if you would have never made $1 million? You feel me? Like, I'm gonna take that milli. get them theirs because they jerk me. That's you fresh in the game. When you fresh in the game, you food. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just like you got licked real quick, but you came out 5 million times better than you was before. So take that and expand from it. You feel me?
I think it kind of depends on the situation, because for like an independent deal nowadays, you don't need the label to build your brand. All you need is social media or the internet to build your brand. So if your brand gets big enough, the money's there.
But that's not. It's not that simple. Like if you're a person with a lot of money or a person with a lot of looks, then yes, it is that simple. But if you're not and you're trying to go purely off talent and working your way up, it's not that simple. You can have it's a lot of female artists. I see them on Instagram. They're not that good, but they get a lot of attention because they're beautiful and they show their ass on half their pictures. So they're generating a certain amount of clout based on that. And it's not about the music, which is why you're like, how this person got 1 million followers? I never heard of this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with both of you. I definitely do. So we've covered quite a bit today in this episode. Yeah, it's creeping up on an hour.
Dang,
we said it was
really?
gonna be a short one, but
Surprised I didn't fall asleep yet.
yeah, I know, right? Now we covered a lot of good topics, so definitely got a lot of good discussion going. Eric got his pizza, so he's happy. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we conclude this episode?
Pizza, yeah.
World peace can really happen, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Anthony, any words of encouragement from you?
Everybody have a good night.
Yeah, that pizza mad crunchy, bro.
Why it sound like you bit into an apple?